In today's session, we are going to discuss list. Here we are in employee to 2021 list, and today we are going to explore more list setting. Yesterday we have explored on versioning setting, advanced setting, and normal setting part. Okay, so in this session we will move ahead with the next setting part. So I'll go here in list setting. So yesterday we have explored the versioning setting, advanced setting. Now today we'll look into the validation setting. So, if what is the meaning of the validation? The meaning of the validation is validate the particular content. The content entered by user, which are correct or not. Okay. So if or it which are in a specific format or not. So for that purpose we use the validation setting. So there are two kind of validation settings are there. Okay. So what are those two kind of validation settings? Let's see. I'll take. So in a validation setting, there are two type of validation settings. Okay, so one is validation setting. Okay, so one is which is called as list validation, and other is which is called as uh, column validation. Okay, so column validation and a list validation, these are two kind of the validation setting. So first is list validation and column validation. So what is the difference between these two validation settings? So the meaning of the validation setting, to enter the correct data means we restrict the user if user entering the wrong data. If user entering the email id in wrong format, then we will restrict them. Okay, so for that purpose we use the validation setting. So in a list validation, and column validation, what is the difference between these two? So list validation, the meaning of the list validation, if consider I will say that enter the start date and end date. What I'm saying, enter the start date and end date. If there is an exam start date and end date is there, so start date should be less than the end date. So there is a comparison between the two columns. There is one column which is start date, and there is another end date column. Okay, so start date should be the less than end date. So there is the comparison between column 1 and column 2. So for that purpose we put the validation which is associated with the list validation. Okay, which is associated. Then if the start date and end date. Okay, so end date. So if this requirement means if user enters this date greater than end date, then you will give the error message to the user that please enter the correct message. Okay, please enter the valid details on the form. Okay, so start date should be uh, less than end date, this message you will give. So here comparison between two columns. Okay, comparison between two columns. Okay, that is the case which is come under the list validation. Now next thing is column validation. Column validation means there is a specific validation type. Okay, there is a specific validation type which is consider email, then phone number, or any business code. Okay, like consider any business code. Consider any organization, say Tata Motors 123 is their business code. So TM should be the initial text, then 123, yes, three digits are there. Means like this is a business code. So for that purpose, so these things so these so what I'm saying, these things are associated with a single column. These things are associated with a single column. That's why which is called as column validation. And this column validation we put in a column, at a particular column. In a column set, if we go and click on that list setting and click on that column, and at the bottom we found that validation, column validation. And uh, and in the list setting there is a validation setting. That section is for list validation. Okay, so these are the two kind of validation setting in a SharePoint list. So moving back to the example. Okay, so we move back to the example. So here this is my list name is employee 2021 list. So what I'm doing, so I will go here. You can see validation setting. This validation setting, it is list validation setting. So this is a list validation because which is associated in the list setting. So I click on the validation setting, means there is a combination of multiple columns, or if in the list setting also you can give the list validation setting, also you can set the validation on a single column, but generally the list validation setting is used for the multiple column validations, okay, by comparing the value between the two columns. So what I'm doing, before that I will create two things, two columns, start date and end date. Okay, so I'll create two columns here. So start date. Okay, so I will select date and time, and required column I'm not going to do so. Okay, so here this is the column validation. Okay, now we are discussing about the list validation. So again I will go here and enter another column, end it. Now here is the time, and I will say okay. So now what thing I want to do here, so now I will go here in validation setting. If now I go here in employee list 2021 and I'll enter something. Now I'll go here at okay, so I'll say test and I'll scroll down and I enter the some wrong detail. Start date, say consider the start date will be the uh, 1st Jan, okay, and end date will be the 29th December, November. Okay, so I have entered the wrong date here. If I save, it save the content, means the wrong information has been saved. See, wrong information is saved in the list. So how you can validate? So we'll go here, validation settings, and here I will check that columns. So started column is there, and ended. See, add to formula, click here, add to formula, and ended, add to formula. Okay, so started should be less than ended. Okay, so here this section which is called as a formula section, here you need to write the formula. Same formulas are like calculated columns. Okay, same formulas like calculated columns, but these formulas needs to return something false or true. Okay, if it will return a false, then only message will appear, if it will return a true, message will not appear. Okay, so what message you want to do here? So here you will say start date should be greater than end. Okay, so this message you are going to give to the user. Okay, start date should be less than end date. Okay, so this message will appear on a page. So I'll save this and wait for a moment. Okay, now again I will go here, employee here, employee 2021 list. So what I did, I changed the, so I go here, enter item, text, scroll down, so I enter here start date, okay, and end it. So 21, this is, and this is a 8 December 2020. So we have entered the wrong information. So here start date, you can see here the message start date should be less than end date. Start date should be less than end date, so that you just scroll down and change the date. So I will put the start date less than, so I will put the 1st December. Okay, so now I'll save this. Okay, so like this way we refer the two columns and perform some column validation. Now data, I have entered the correct information here, and I restrict the user to put the invalid information. Okay, so this is the one thing. So moving back now, moving back. So this is the things which is comparing the two columns. Now consider, now I'll go back here in the list settings, again validation settings. So validation settings, so there might be some different criteria. Based on that, we need to display the error message. Means there are multiple different criteria through which we can search the content. So I have explored few blocks here, and through which I have extracted some formulas here. So to write the formula, consider see, this is the, this is the SharePoint column validations tutorial, SharePoint online list column validation examples. Okay, so this is one block through which I just extract some information, and I'll show you which one is useful. See here, this is this is this is the called as column validation, because there is only one column is referred. So this formula can be applicable to the, this is the column validation. If I scroll down, SharePoint list column validation example. Just a minute. Okay, so see, here here you can see in this formula. Here I'll share this link. So here in this formula you can see count A, home phone, business phone, and mobile phone. So here we are comparing columns. Okay, columns. Okay, so what message I want to give? At least one information should be filled. Means at least home phone, business phone, or mobile number should be filled. If you say greater than or equal to 2, then means I need to at least 2 details I need to fill. So if you copy this, okay, so what is the meaning of this count A function? Okay, count A. So what is the purpose of this count A? If you go here formulas. Okay, earlier I have said common formulas in a list. Common formula, I have shared this link with you earlier while we were working on that which calculated column. At that time I have shared this link with you. Okay, again I will put this link. Okay, so here now what count A, here is a count A function. You can see here count A function. So what is the purpose of the count A function? So count A function is count the number of arguments that are not empty. Means count A function which just found, check that which one is the empty. Okay, so this is the purpose of the this function. Okay, so this is the purpose of count A, sorry, count A function. So that is the purpose of the count A function, to find out which arguments are empty. So if we go here in our list, again I will go back and check that what are the columns and what kind of formula will be required. Okay, so if you have 3 columns, but at least one in times to many times what happen, you need to enter please enter the current address or a permanent address, or this kind of information. Means at least one information needs to be filled by the user. So here consider we have uh, here we have mobile number, okay, address, okay, and DOB. Okay, so compared to this, or what I do, I just mobile number is there, and there is another one more column. I will quickly add here, and that column is a single line mobile number. Then I will say here home phone, home home number. Okay, and I'll keep it as, okay. So I have given, so user needs to enter at least mobile number or home number. Okay, so how you can do, we go here, see here. Now I'm working on a column validation, but early here validation setting. So here if you can see the already I have put one validation here, but at a same time we cannot put the multiple validation on a same page. Okay, means I need to validate that, because at the end we are giving the same message here. Okay, so in this condition, if you need to apply the both the things, then you need to give the two message here. For that means start date should be the less than end date, or this user will check that okay, I have entered the start date should be less than, or is correct. And other thing is at least I need to check the mobile number or phone number, but it will not look good. So it's better to means in the column list validation, we provide the only one formula, only one requirement, validation requirement will fulfill. Okay, so here I'll go here, I refresh it, as I have added one more column, so I refresh it. So I remove this. Now here count a. So here I go here and check the how I can use the formula count a value 1 2. Okay, and how I can use this is, if just a minute, let me check how count a, and okay, it will extract the count a. So if count a, now there are two columns, phone number, mobile number, and other is phone number, home home number. Okay, so here you say greater than 21. Okay, so here I give the message, please enter mobile or home phone number. Okay, so this message you are going to okay. So here we compare the two column, mobile number of home phone number. Okay, and I will save this. Okay, error message. Let me check the mistake count home, if should not be there. Okay, I enter the if. Okay, save. Okay, so here I'll check that my list column validation is working or not. I'll not enter any mobile number. List mobile number. So here here is the home number. I will keep both are blank. Okay, both are blank. Home number and mobile number. I click on save. See, please enter mobile or home phone number. Okay, so I just enter the mobile number. Okay, and then save this, and it will work. Okay, so like this way we can put the list validation. Okay, now moving back to the column validation. Okay, so the column validation is a thing is that which is some specific information consider for phone number validation or email id validation or any business code validation. For that purpose we need to use it. Okay, so I'll go here and I just show you. I'm just creating the one column here, this setting, and we will validate the email validation. We check for the email validation. So I'm going to say create column. So email. Okay, so this is a single line text email, and I want to just scroll here and I'll say here column validation. You can see this section column validation. So this is about the column validation. Okay, so in a column validation, same way, if the output of this formula is false, then only the message will get appear here. Okay, so how we can put the formula here. Okay, so how we can put the formula here. Now see, so I'll take some help. So here we check. Just a minute. Hello. गाडीची चावी काय कुठं ठेवली थांबा आठवू द्या मला काय कुठं ठेवली गड्या हा याच्यावर आहे बाहेरच्या टाकीवर आहे okay guys so sorry so again we'll back I'm just checking I'm just checking so what I do I want to validate the email column validation so I say column first thing SharePoint column validation for email okay after that how to email validation we'll get a different solution and approaches here okay so I go here and copy this is see here there is one option is here I found one formula here actually writing the formula means it requires some regular expression knowledge like our regular expression we use in a jQuery okay so I copy this or I will explore few more blogs to get a better result I use this okay I think this will working fine okay so I just copy this I go here put it here email okay so make sure that this column name should be correct one okay email okay email okay so correct so I will give the message here please enter correct email so writing this formula is a bit difficult and it takes some time to write this formula email validation is a common thing email phone number zip number these are common validations you will quickly get this but for the validation for business logic validation you need to write your own logic uh, you need to learn how to write this formula okay how to write this formula based on the different formulas here in SharePoint here there are different formulas are there based on that you need to learn how to write the formula to validate okay calculated column and validation both are same there is no difference just the difference is that calculated column returns some result okay rather it also return true or false or it also returns some value also but in column validation the output will be the column validation formula output will be the true or false okay so here please enter the correct email again I will go here so I click here I check that if I put the wrong email ID then what happens okay and I will not provide any email ID so see please enter so our earlier column validation is not is as it is so I will put there some mobile number again now check now email will work okay this what happened you understand this first it gives the priority to the list validation and then it will check the our column validation so I'll say test at the rate again at the rate this is wrong email id click here again it will use the message so at the rate again at the rate this is wrong see double dot this is wrong so means so I have provided the double dot this validation there's some bugs is there that's why it's accept this double dot here actually it should not accept the double dot so you can search for other validation I have another formula here or same one I think this is the same formula here so same one is there so dot find at that email. So we need to understand that how this dot will work. Okay, so actually there is a bug for a dot, okay, in this email. So you check that, because exploring this formula it takes some time. Okay, so this is about the column validation, how we can put the and validate the column. So again, moving back to the list setting, here you can see different. Here if I click, you means generally what happen in a business logic, we need to validate some business logic. First three character is a company name, after that followed by some number, or first two character is the are the character, then year, this current year, and then user needs to put some number. So this will be the valid string, or any what number, credit card number validation. So this kind of a validation we need to put whenever, if we need to, means there are some generic validation and there are some unique validation as per your business flow. So this is about the column validation, list validation and column validation. This is a very important thing. So we'll stop here.